And good morning, students. Good morning. Can we admit? Yeah. Good morning. Happy to be with you again today. I've been your facilitator, Dr. Angela Ba. Wish to welcome Vanessa.
Good morning.
Good morning, darling. How are you today? And our friend Fola Shade, how are you today? Good morning, Shade. Welcome you to the class. Our friends Esther and Vanessa is here. Shade is here. And your facilitator, Shade, you're welcome. Hola, Shade, you're welcome. Vanessa, wish to welcome you again this Tuesday.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good, good. How are you too?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Okay, good. And wish to say that last time the class was not very full. Today we want to talk about examinations in religion and moral education. Examinations in religion and moral education. Yeah, why do we have to take exam? And what shape does exam in religion and moral education? I have been sharing my screen and talking about examination in moral education. I want to look at the types of exams, types of questions that we get in moral education. So, want to look at the types and make me to share, go back to the screen. Want to say that before the end of this lesson, that our students will be able to identify different methods of examination in moral education. We're expecting that by the end of this class, the student will be able to identify different methods of examination in moral education. And also, our students should be able to discuss the methods they have identified. What are the types of examination in moral education? Now we're going to look at this type of education. What are they, in what form do they come? If you look at our screen, there are ways through which students can be examined. There are several ways. One of these ways is to essay question. Essay questions are expected to be provided by the teacher, and the students are supposed to provide the answer to this particular question in their own sentences, in their own words. When the question comes in essay form, the teacher is expecting you, the student, to give a response in your own, according to your own understanding. And it is usually direct or in a statement form. The essay questions are usually direct or it comes in a statement form. Its objective, the objective of essay question is scoring. Since the students' answers differ, you will write your own, as we ask, describe the form of examination in Open University. You know, in Open University, there are two forms of exam. First, you write the POP exam, pen on paper. And that pen on paper exam is the form of exam that from 300 level students, when you get to 300 level, 400 level, 500 level as in law students, they write the type of exam we call pen on paper exam. That way, you will see this kind of essay question coming in. The essay will come, for instance, it will describe, write in short sentences what pen on paper exam in text in Open University. So the student is expected to put the answer in his own words or her own words, the way she understands it. Your own words may differ from the way Esther's word differ, or Vanessa's word, sentences may differ from Folashade's sentences, but it makes the same meaning. When the teacher is scoring the meaning in it, you get the same answer. Good. That is about essay question. And also, this essay question has some advantages. It has also some advantages as well as disadvantages. One of the advantages of essay question is that it can easily be done. The teacher will easily say, like what I have just done. You know, I've said one question. If you listen, write in 5 sentences what you understand by POP question in Open form of question in Open University. You see, it's very easy for me to write that. It's not as costly as objective question, because in form of objective question, there are so many things you will think about, how to put them together, where it will be answered and the rest. But the essay question is not like that. Again, essay question allows students to express themselves. I hope you're taking your notes. And of course, the thing is also on your side. You can read that eventually. It allows a student to express him or herself. If I'm writing that question I have just explained to you, I will write the way my sense is telling me, provided I'm getting the answer. Vanessa will write in her own sentences. You will write. Another person, Esther will write her own, but you are all gearing towards the same thing. So the teacher will have to read them and score. Good. Another advantage of essay question is that there is room for creativity and originality. You are the one that is expressing it from your heart the way it is. Esther is expressing it the way it is for her. I mean, there's originality. And we know that for Folasade, this is the way she has written her. Vanessa, this is the way she has written hers. Esther, this is the way she has written her. And we have the same, but it's gearing towards the same answer. Essay question does not give much room for examination malpractice. As you're writing your own, even the coming from your mind, you're writing it. Another person bends and we have to think and write. It will not just say, what is, Vanessa, please, it's not just one word. Tell me what you have written in question 4, essay. Which one will it dictate for you? Will it dictate the whole sentences? So there's not much malpractice. It doesn't give room for malpractice. Then it can be written on chalk or whiteboard. The teacher can come to the classroom, now bring out your papers, write this text for me. It is essay. It's in essay form. Do you understand? He can use his marker, whiteboard. If it's on whiteboard, we use his marker, write number 1. This is the question. Number 2, the question. If it's chalkboard, can use chalk to write. And there are other advantages. But let's look at 1 or 2 advantages so that we can cover up. One disadvantage of essay question is that it's difficult to mark, because the teacher must finish reading what Folashade has written before he can go over to what Vanessa has written, before he can go over to what Angela has written, like that. And it takes a longer time for you to finish. Whereas if it is objective, what Vanessa has written here, maybe is what the teacher is expecting the answer to be NOUN. What is the acronym? What does what is the acronym for National Open University of Nigeria? The acronym for National Open University of Nigeria, I will expect that Vanessa will write NOUN. Whereas I'm also expecting that Folashade should have written NOUN. And anything, the moment I go there, if I don't see NOUN, if I see foul, WOFOUN, I will score wrong on it and go away. So it's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to mark essay question. And also, in the disadvantage is that it is open and very subjective. You see, because you must write and write and write and write. If you like, give me assignment by writing 10 pages. I must read what you have written. That means it is subjective. Another disadvantage of it is that uniform scoring may be difficult. If I want to score the way financially, the way I scored Vanessa and the way I scored the other person, it's a difficult thing. So let's look at some other forms of this thing so that we'll be able to cover up. And want to look at objective form of questions. These are some of the ways, the types of questions, said, or the types of examinations, the forms examinations in moral education take. Text form of essay question. It can come in form of essay. It can come in form of objective. Now we're looking at objective. Objective type of what does it mean? Now, the objective, this is a type that involves 2 or more persons. You are writing your own from there. And then you see, we shall tell you the advantage soon. Because when this person is writing, this person is writing, this person is writing, all of you can cluster in the same place, in the same class. But you are your own on your table, this person on your table. You can take several persons at the same time. And then another form of the objective is that involves complete or direct questions. Okay, like the question I just posed. What is the acronym for National Open University of Nigeria? It means that N stands for national, open, O stands for open, and U stands for university, Nigeria, N stands for, that is the acronym. I can also ask that when was National Open University born? Remember that the first time Open University came into existence was in 1983. So if I'm marking that question and I don't see 1980, I don't see 1983. If I say 1987, I will score and go my way. Then they can also ask, when was National Open University resuscitated or suspended? Let's see suspension. Remember, Open University came into being in 1983 and was suspended in 1984. So these are short questions, and it has advantages and disadvantages. So disadvantage of we're looking at the disadvantage of objective question, disadvantages of objective question. One of the disadvantages is that it is more difficult to construct than essay question. There are rooms for exam malpractice because this person here can call the person who is in there very far from you. Please, what's number 10? And the person will do hand like this or like this. The other person will get it. So malpractice, it encourages malpractice. So, and it is very costly to administer. Very costly to administer because it will need a number of things for you to administer that. Now let's look at number 3. We have complete text. We have complete text. This takes the form of sentence with omitted words or phrase, or we can call it blank spaces. Now, Mr. Dash visited the National Open University in dash years. You see, there are blank spaces, or there are places that you need to complete. Open University, National Open University's exam will resume on dash of maybe I have written June. So something is missing here, and I'm expecting you to fill it in. That is complete text. It is called, it can be called filling the gap or filling the blank space. Now can come in, for instance, now came into being in the year dash, or National Open University that came into being in 1983 was suspended in 19 dash. I am supposed to put that, but I'm leaving it open for my students to complete. And you, 100 level and 200 level, that will be using your computer to write your exam, because your own formal exam will come in what we call MCQ and FBQ. MCQ means multiple choice question. MCQ, multiple choice question. FBQ means fill in the gap space. Fill in the blank space, which is kind of objective we are talking about now. Which is also, and if it comes in essay form, for instance, okay, for instance, the question I have here, National Open University was suspended in the year dash. I'm expecting you to complete that. Assuming I want to complete it, I will say it's completed in the suspended on the year 1984. You see, but I did not put it. Now I will want you to put it in your. You have to go to your system. When you look at your system, handle your mouse, click it, and when you click it, where this thing is clicking, you will now go to your keyboard. Use your keyboard. Look for 19. You can see the upper side. You have your numbers. You write 1. Look for 9. Write 9. Look for 8. Write 8. Look for 3. Write 3. You are filling in the gap. Okay. It has also, we are saying that completion test also has wider applicability. Because you must read, pick things from here and there, from the beginning of your model to the end of your model, before you can set that question. You must go down the whole model before you can say. Remember that I told you that this your model, your PED 233 has 3 models, and it's made up of 15 units. So for me to set question to complete completion test, I must go around the 15 units for me to complete this test. So that is it. That's what we are talking about. So it may also encourage learning, encourage rote learning. It means that some students will want to cram some things they have seen, because they will see that I want them to fill in the gap. They will, maybe if they have seen an old question and they will be thinking that that same question will come out, they want to cram that thing. You understand? So this type of thing doesn't encourage creativity like we saw in essay, and originality like we also saw in essay. Let's go to our side and see the next one. So the next one is, we have also true or false item. True or false item, you can see, it contains statements which students judge. We're expecting the student to judge it or respond to, either true or false. Okay, I can say the name of our Vice Chancellor is Professor Olufemi Peters. True or false? Folashade, true or false?
True, ma. True, ma.
Beautiful. So you see it. This is the type we are talking about, true or false question. Now we can say, if I ask you, the name of our registrar is Dr. Angela Abba. True or false?
False.
False.
False. Beautiful.
False.
So you see it. And that one is not asking the student too much. The student just need to recall what they have learned before. It needs a number of recall. And that is why we emphasize on retention, that any teacher of a moral education must teach students to the extent that they will recall what they have learned. Like if this question I have asked you now, because I'm emphasizing on it, if it comes out in the exam, any of the exams, you will not fail it, because there will be retention, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are talking about that one, and we want to go over. It covers also a very wide range of content. and may assess it very trivial facts. You go so much around the units looking for how to set this question, get this question, and you must cover the units, 15 units of that. Yeah. So we want to check the next item. The next type of question in moral education is assignment, what we call assignment. Assignment, you can see it on our site. And specific job is given to students to do for a stipulated time. The teacher will just, okay, like I will give you an assignment today. I will ask you to find out, I want you to go, when you get to it, find out 2 behaviors you can use this method for and write their advantages and disadvantages. Now, I have taught you several methods of set questions, types of questions in teaching moral education. Now, I want you to get home, check the questions we want to. Assuming a student, there's a student in class, and that student in your class, maybe in secondary school, is slow at catching what you are teaching. What type of question would you want to give that student? What would be what type of assignment, type of question would you like to give that student, so that it will help the student to go and research, work on his or her own, because she takes her own time and works at her own space. Now, I want you to do that at home. Check that. And why do you also tell us why you want to give her that type of, will you give her assignment type of question? Will you give her objective type of question? Will you give her essay type of question? And why would you give her that? I want you to write why you gave her that type of question, and what is the advantage of that type of question you have given her, and what is also the disadvantage. I would like to see you write that and post on your discussion forum on your site, so that you can discuss it with some of your friends and colleagues. So we're talking about assignment type of question. Remember, we said that assignment type of question is not, it encourages individuality, individual work. It encourages individual work. The student can work on her own, take her time and work. Remember that student that doesn't, catch up easily. Then it's also not punishment. You're not giving that child that thing as punishment. You're not giving her that kind of type of question because you want to punish her. No, you want to also help her because it has its advantages. Now, the disadvantage of assignment type of question is that for direct work, the child is going to do that thing directly on her own. It's going to reduce work done in class. Now, this one, I want you to go and do it at home, because you know that you will not be able to cover it or everything in class. You want to students to also go and discover this, find out more about this, and do it at home. That is an assignment. It's not that you're punishing, you're trying to punish that child. After all, children are supposed to do some assignment at home, not when they go home. Some will be glued on their television. They are watching television, or some of them may even forget to eat. So when you give them assignment, it helps them. It encourages them to research. They can even go to ask their mommy, "Mommy, what is the meaning of this?" They will consult their dictionary for spellings. They will also, they ask their daddy, "Please explain this thing for me. I did not understand it very well." And they will do the assignment for you. You can also give them things to mold. They will use their hand to do those things. You can give them some things they can build for you, construct for you, construction work. And these ones come in assignment form. Okay, we also have said that it also encourages, it works on the affective nature and cognitive nature of the student. Remember that cognitive assessment is what you want the children to think out, work on their brain, that is cognitively, academically. Now, working on the affection, you will say, "Oh, my dear, remember the assignment I gave you, and make sure you do it very well, and I will know that you actually following me, what I'm saying in class, you're, cuddling that class, showing some affection to the class, and the child will feel wanted. The child will feel belonged. So that is the affection type of advantage of that thing we're talking about. Let's look at the next method. The next method is evaluation through project. You want to evaluate your classwork through project. Now, I have taught you this. I want to give you an assignment. Go and carry out this project. Let's see. And we're saying that this type of evaluation through project can be in group project. You can ask them. Now, if you are teaching them something like, assuming you have taught, what will I use? Soil. I have told you there are types of soil. Or maybe, okay, let's continue with moral education, religion and moral education. You will ask them to go and pair them in group. Ask them to go and learn what are the cultural things you do. Do you have cultural things in your place? Do you do some, are there some cultural things? Maybe, sometimes in some schools, they have what they call cultural day. And cultural day, they want to see the kind of dance the Gala people do. They want to see the kind of dance the Yorubas do. They want to see how the Igbos do their cultural day. So that day, you will say, it's good. How many of you are from Igbo here? They will come out for you. How many of you from our outside here? They will come out for you. How many are the Yorubas? They will come out for you. Now, the Yorubas, go and learn one of your traditional dances. Tell your mommies to teach you one traditional dance and dress in your traditional form and come to school tomorrow. The Igbos, go and dress in your cultural way and come. These are moral education. And remember that when we're talking about religion and moral education, we want to teach children to learn to work with one another. We also want to teach them to be harmonious with one another, be friendly with one another. The Yorubas, now, I want the Yorubas to dress like the Igbos. When you're coming tomorrow, all of you that are Yorubas, you have dressed in your own cultural attire before. Today, tomorrow, I want all of you to dress like the Igbos. Let's see. Then the Igbos dress like the Yorubas and come. The Yorubas dress like the Hausas and come. You see, the children will be excited. When they get home, they will tell their mommy, mommy, we're dressing in Yoruba culture today. We are dressing in Yoruba attire. Their mommies will be glad. They'll buy this thing for them and makes them friends. The children become friends because of it. So it is what we're talking about, teaching them, evaluating the class, the extent of how the children can cooperate. Cooperation, the extent of cooperation, or the extent of friendship through evaluation through project. And we say that project can be individual too. You can ask this girl, now go and do this. This person, go and do this instead of in group. So it can come in form of group and it also come in singular, individually. It encourages individual initiative. Now, go and think how we can cook this food. You see, the Yorubas have their delicacies. Igbos have their delicacies. The Hausas have their delicacies. We have wazobia. Wa is corn in Yoruba. Zo is corn in Hausa. Bia is corn in Igbo. You see, they do this thing. You tell the children, they go home and tell mommy, we will learn wazobia today. These are the 3 languages in Nigeria. And they're happy. It makes for unity. You can see an Hausa person marrying a Yoruba person, maybe their childhood friend from the same class. I've seen it done. The childhood, the Igbo marrying an Hausa person, Igbo marrying a Yoruba person, they are childhood friends. And this is as a result of moral, religion you taught them. We are talking about the types of questions, that comes in moral education. Want to see the next one? The next one is observation method. Observation method. Now, observation method needs objective and a critical procedure, and also sincerity of the teacher. If you want to observe, if they say that this child does some funny things in the class, you know, you are teaching them moral method. You want to teach them some moral method, and you know that you don't believe by what, you don't believe hearsay or what is going on. You want to find out things yourself. You want to find out. Now you get to observe that child. For you to observe the child, you have to be very, very sincere. You have to be very objective. You don't play partiality, you see, and we determine to appropriate activities for real activity. We want to do it in class. The behavior you want to observe in the students should be the kind of maybe relationship they keep. They tell you this student still want to observe it and believe and be able to know what they are talking about. They say this child is very disobedient. You want to observe the child yourself. You can ask the child, go and pick this thing. You don't mean for him to go and pick, but you just want to observe. You send him. And you can say, you can look at you somehow. Yourself, you will be quiet because you're observing something. You say, okay, James, go and call this teacher for me. James will be doing like, every time you're sending me, every time I'll tell my mom, every time. You see, you have been able to observe that child. Then your own is to correct the child. You will do what you can because you are there for the children. So let's look at the next method so that we're able to cover up. Where is our mouse? No. Want to cover up so that okay. We've been able to learn methods of teaching, certain questions, types of questions for education, religion and moral studies. Remember that the first one was essay question, essay type of question, and the essay type of question, you saw what it is all about. And remember our main objective, the essay type of questions, you know the advantages. I would want you to also go home and read some of these things, practice them. Look at your model, look at all the units. Remember that your exams, your own exams will come after the pen on paper. Pen on paper is starting on the 1st of June. And after it has taken like 18 days, your own timetable, maybe 15, 16 days into the exam, your own timetable will come out. And that your timetable will contain all your courses that you have registered to take. And you are going to write your own on computer base. It will be made up of MCQ, multiple choice question. The next one is FBQ. Multiple choice is that type of question where we have A, B, C, D.
Like objective questions.
Yeah, A, B, C, D. Then you will now make a choice. They will ask a question and make a choice on the objective, variables given. Which of these is the answer? You would choose. Choice, you make choice, multiple choice question. You choose from the options given. Maybe, and remember that the questions will be 70 questions, because your TMA you are doing now is 30 questions. Will come with TMA 1, 10 questions, TMA 2, 10 questions, TMA 3, 10 questions. It has taken 30. The next we're expecting from the exam is 70. So your questions will be 70. You're expecting 70 questions, and it is time. So that when you are writing your question, you don't waste so much time in one. Like why I brought it up, because we are talking about types of questions. So your type of question is MCQ, multiple choice. If you're given choices to pick from. And then fill in the blank. fill in the blank question. Mr. James came to the house on dash day. You are supposed to fill. Either you type it or the questions, the gap will be there, and you'll be asked to check. There are also true and false is also among the fill in the gap. Either to say true or false. You understand the thing? These are types of questions. So you read all your model, all the units, the three models we're expecting you to cover it. The units you're expected to cover it so that you'll be able to write and answer any question wherever it comes from. So we have essay type of question, objective type of question, the completion question,
True, of course.
yeah, and project type of question, and
Assessment.
question. You have assessment question. You have evaluation. Two projects, I have said that, and you have observation. These are 7 types of questions that comes up in religion and moral studies. So that's where we are going to anchor our listening for now. Till we meet on Saturday, I remain your facilitator, Dr. Angela Abba. See you next Saturday. Bye.
All right, see you.
Thank you
Have
very
a
much,
nice
ma.
day.
Thank you, ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma.
Have a nice day. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, ma.
You're welcome.
Yes, ma.
You're
Yes, ma.
welcome.